that's the way we build our beards. Okay, so I'm going to take some crepe hair. I'm going to measure it off. I've forgotten how long this guy's beard is. Okay.
Pretty long. And you always want to make it a little bit longer. Even if you're doing a really kind of a close beard, you want to make it longer than the finished length because you want to come back in and trim it. So it'll give you, the flexibility of trimming it. You don't have to make it like, 10 inches and then you're going to make it 2 inches, but make it an inch or so longer than you need. There's a good chapter about it in your book.
Okay, now we're ready to start. To glue it on, I'm going to use liquid latex. It's in your kit, and it's very fun to use. And when you open it up, you should have this handy-dandy little brush right on there. So you start by laying in your first layer. I usually use a popsicle stick. And that's how fast it goes on, okay? So then you go to the next part over, snip it off, fluff it real good. Again, if you don't want it to be really curly, then you just don't iron it as much.
Is it too curly for you?
No, it's
you want it straighter? Okay. This is wool. Like I said, if you're allergic to wool, you could do a layer of latex first and then start gluing your beard on. That layer of latex will give you a little bit of a barrier, and it also acts as a way to pull it all off, and then you can save it and reapply it. So adding another layer will help do that. You can also embed it with some netting.
Does latex dry quickly?
It dries pretty quick, yeah. So if you don't want to use latex, you can use spirit gum as well. But spirit gum, you kind of have to tack it a little bit before you lay it in there.
Sure.
So yeah. Yeah, there's all kinds of adhesives. You could use Telesis, which is a silicone adhesive. And like, if you have people with latex allergies, there's other products you can use. You can use Prosaid. I got a lot for you there. I suggest that you wear, and I don't know if you want a cape or not, Steve, but the hair gets everywhere, and it's kind of like when you go to the hairdresser and all.
So I'm continuing fluffing and applying, and it's really fun to do. It really transforms your look. A couple of things to avoid. One, and this is something that will happen to you. I'm going to try to do it real quick. You're painting on, and see if I can make this happen. Oops. Now I got latex in your beard. It's really hard to get that out. Now, I did it on the early stages of building this beard, so it's really on the lower course, and you won't see that too much, so I'm not too worried about it. But, like I said, try to avoid that kind of thing, because it's really hard to recover from, especially once you're done. Okay, just keep working. Now, I've got the first layer on, or course, let's say. Right here, you can see a big gap right here and right here. Okay, see those two? Well, your next layer, you want to cover that, just like the bricks in the wall over there, with that gap with the solid gap of hair. So, that's where I'm going next, which is right.
Think about what character you want to do. I mean, there's so many good beards out there. If you want to do research for, Harry Potter has great beards, and Lord of the Rings, and, you want to do those big long beards. You could. The what?
The dwarf beards.
Dwarf beards. Think about that, okay? But you do have to do a full beard. Full beard and mustache, meaning like ear to ear beard and a mustache, okay? Because you can always modify it, and doing a goatee is pretty easy. So we want you to learn how to do the whole thing. laying a beard by hand is a really good skill to have. A lot of people don't know how to do that, so it's very
Oh,
helpful.
come on, that's something I do every day.
Right.
I do it every day for stuff like Fiddler on the Roof,
Yeah.
and I build these beards on these 15-year-old kids that I think I've shown you. And once I finished and they got this gray beard on, they look old.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
so
aging and yeah.
yeah, it really matters. Yes, you have a question?
Yeah, I was wondering if I could do like a Papa Smurf thing and paint my face blue and then do the beard.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not? I have, and that's the thing. Let's talk about colors. We have a lot of colors. We have all these grays and whites. You'll be needing white for the Smurf, right?
Yeah.
I do have some interesting colors like yellow. I have a little bit of blue. It's a really dark blue. You probably can't see that. But this is cool. This bright red color is fun. You might want to be, I don't know, some kind of character. This says blonde, but it looks orangey. I don't know what color that really is supposed to be. And then browns and blacks, of course. We have all that. So think of those colors.
So doing
Lucky
that.
Charms, dude.
Lucky Charms.
The Gordon's Fisherman, I've had people do.
That's a good one.
That's a good beard.
Yeah, I mean all kinds of shapes and sizes.
Abe Lincoln.
Yeah, if you want to do historical beards, mutton chops are more, kind of a short sideburn, but yeah, in history, and in the back of your book, there's an appendix that's full of, Syrian beards and whatever time period you want to go for. Some really interesting stuff that look on, all the past students' work because they've done a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah, it's at jokesters.org, and then click on the link for the Towson University page, and then you can go to see every student we've ever had. I'm going to try to make another mistake here for you guys. Try things to avoid. Obviously, I'm not going to do this, but a big mistake would be to paint liquid latex into my actual hair. Remember what I told you that would be? A waxing. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try to make this mistake. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, I think I've got some of it. Can you see really closely right there how you can see where I've actually put the latex on there? Can you see the latex?
Yeah.
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 You want to avoid that, and you want to, we call it hide the mechanics. You can't tell where the other parts of my beard are glued on. And you can always see it, like an amateur makeup artist will make that mistake. So try to avoid. Let's see if I can. And as Marianne said, you will get to the point where you will be in this beard and you will come to me and say, when you take my picture, you can move and it will not fall off. Okay? And I guarantee, because you put it on, you feel like, I'm so tight. That's just because you're not used to it.
Do you need more iron? Are you good?
There's a picture.
Okay.
Oh, I got it.
A lot longer. You see it?
Where did you go when you were like that?
Interestingly enough, I didn't have to go anywhere. The students wanted to take my picture
Oh.
and send it to them. I'm at Phil today.
It looks like you're going like skiing.
Somebody just took that with their normal camera.
Just go walk around Towson
Yes, with
Town
our
Center.
camera.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a pretty good blow up though.
Turned out good, didn't it? Yeah.
Where'd you get it done?
Here, they have like a technology, posters.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. In the library, there's like somewhere you can go do that.
Right.
That's it. It
It's-
used to be called
It's
CIOTS,
called CIOT.
Center for
like a
Instructional
Hobbyers Plus
Technology.
somewhere.
Something
Or
else they call it. Yeah. There's some way to hang it up there, but anyway. Now this is interesting because if you look at beards, this has a lot of different colors in it, which I know he's just doing one color, but really, when you start doing your research, again, get real pictures of real beards because there are fake beards out there. But if you look at most men, maybe it's brown on the side, a little bit of gray there, and then the mustache might be a completely different color than their beard. And their eyebrows might be completely different than their beard and different than their hair color. It's really strange. I mean, I don't know why it does that, but
that's
especially
genetics.
when
It's beyond our control.
people are going gray or whatever, they might have you know, really gray hair, but still have, you know,
A brown
darker-
beard.
Yeah, and you guys can do eyebrows. Just glue it on with spirit gum. You know, because if you're doing a really burly guy, you might want to have real bushy eyebrows. You know.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you're going for like instead of like a full beard, if you're going for more of like just like a stubble or like a scruffy
Oh,
look.
we'll show you that next.
I'm
Okay.
gonna show you that. Zoe's gonna help me, right? We're gonna do the scruffy
gotcha.
look. Okay, good. Yes, it's fun, and I'll show it to you. It's a really quick method,
Okay.
and I've used it before. You can use it, you know, on stage and film and whatnot. So it is a good alternative to doing this full beard. But,
Which one?
Yosemite Sam.
So can you use like styling products on this or?
yes,
Yeah.
good question. Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about that for a second.
Right.
First of all, this is a nice pair of scissors that we own. Bring your own scissors next week, because the ones that we have for you to use, you don't want to use. They won't cut anything. They're terrible. That's number one. Also, number two,
write
if
that
you
down.
have a hair straightener, you know that thing
Yeah.
that's, you know,
That
what do you call it?
Straightener.
A flat iron.
Flat iron,
Flat
okay.
iron.
I call it hair straightener.
Hair
Yeah, me too.
straightener,
Yeah.
okay. Flat
doesn't
iron hair
straighten,
straightener, I don't
so,
give a
you
darn
know.
what you call it, just bring it.
Flat iron. Good.
Okay, because those are nice items to have. And
Yes, because we only have a couple irons and 3 ironing boards, so you guys had to take turns. But it usually works out because some people are getting into their, you know, base makeup and, you know, just have to share. If anybody works in the costume shop, does anybody
Yes.
know? Yeah, so a lot of times they'll let you go in there if you know how to work those steam irons. I assume you do. So just ask them, say, hey, can I use it? Because man, those things are hot. And please don't get burnt because you got the steam on. Be really careful. I always just start down here and keep my other hand way away from it and just tug on it. By the way, iron it this way as opposed to this way. You'll get done a lot faster. That's all the point is. Okay? Can you get a facial while you're doing it? With steam. Sorry. Okay, so
this is fun.
so what are you doing? 3 layers?
I can tell you from experience. Like, I was doing Santa Claus. We call it down by Lexington Market. If you don't know where that is, that's the Hippodrome area theater. You know where that is. So they had this really nice sleigh, and I did, of course,
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. And it was one of the windiest days, of course, of the year. And so I'm doing Santa Claus, and first of all, it's windy. So the entire time, this is what happens to my beard. This is all I'm like, cut it out, get down.
Yeah.
So I finally, we're rolling around in this really beautiful carriage with horse, and Marianne was Santa Claus's helper because we don't want her to be an old lady. That would be Mrs. Claus, you know. And so we're
Santa
rolling
Claus's
around the
date.
corner and got the Lexington Market, and this guy sitting in a wheelchair there going, hey, Santa Claus, can you bring me some new legs for Christmas? I had no comeback to that.
Yeah, what do you say to that?
I had nothing to say. I was like, good one.
Yeah,
I was lost for words.
right.
But usually I make some comment. Like, I usually roll around and people say, hey, Santa, and I yell, Happy Easter. And they go, what? That guy's an old guy. He's crazy. You know? So fun.
So you can blend colors together if you don't see what you like. There are different degrees. Like this is called a light brown gray. There's a dark brown gray. That's brown mixed with some kind of gray. And when you go to order it, it's like, 20 different kinds of colors you can get. So, but you could take, and here's like, this is the dark brown gray. You probably can't see it because you really need to look at it close up. So, but you could take the, 2 colors, and if you want to blend them together, usually use a hackle, which we don't have, but it's basically a board with a bunch of pins in it, like nails, and you start blending them together. But you're talking about using hair products. It's hard to kind of comb this together, but you can use like a mustache wax if you want to get a really crazy, mustache. Which there's some really, they must have like a beard and mustache competition. Have you seen this? Once you start
Yeah.
looking up online, you'll see people with like windmills in their beards and, kind of crazy things. But, so you can blend your colors together, which is nice because you can get a realistic effect. So don't forget to do that. You can also just put it on as you're doing the layers that Steve's doing and blend the colors in as well. So
Like I said, I always make everything too long and then go back and trim it up. I'm not going to do it myself
yeah,
for the sake of time and this lecture. I'm just going to have Marianne come over and trim me up a little bit. And the other thing is, if you want to do the handlebar mustache, you know what that is? It comes out and kind of goes around a circle. You have to go to CVS or Rite Aid. They sell a little tin. They still sell it. It's called mustache wax, and you put that in your wax. But you know, hair gels work just as well.
yeah, some good,
Come over here and
Stitched
snap
up.
this. I can't see anything.
you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody here allergic to the latex? Just use
Latex or wool.
Spirit gum. Thank you.
Okay, so
Okay.
like I said, I would suggest putting a cape on.
Yeah, because
Um,
you wouldn't believe the hairs just go everywhere.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do.
Some of this is not glued on, so you can either go back and glue it on, or you can just pull some of it off. Because you don't need a whole, you know. Sometimes you don't need all that, I would say. So I'm fluffing it just because I want to get it all together. I know we fluffed it when we put it on, but
Wait.
it's hot, yeah. But good at Christmas when you're outside and it'll keep you warm.
Yeah, but then it blows right up in my face. I
Yeah.
can't see.
So what'd you do with this mustache? Just kind of...
It's waiting to be trimmed.
Yeah. All right, so you put on the mustache like this. You could also kind of put it on if you wanted to
All right,
shape up
start trimming.
one like that and put it on. So, and it also depends. Some mustaches are long, and you want to get them to a long, you know, kind of point. Sometimes you just want to go straight across. So it depends on what kind of mustache you're doing. What?
Yeah. And then you can do the Amish bit where you have the beard but no mustache.
Yeah. A lot of this is loose, gotta tell you. Hold this. Got a loose piece here. Go back in and glue it on. Okay. Okay, I got it on there. Sorry. Okay. Fluffing, fluffing. Turn this way. Turn your head. Turn your head. Jesus. You're such a bad client. My God. You gotta do this first because before you start trimming everything, I want to bring it all together. Some people might not, you might not need, you know, like 3 layers. It really depends on how heavy you want to do this. Okay, turn. This is completely coming off, sorry. I'm just gonna pull that down. Okay, so I'm gonna trim it up on the sides. I'm gonna look at this picture. A lot of beards are short on the side, depending on what you're doing. So again, get your research. His kind of comes down to a point in the middle, so I'm going to come back to that. I'll take a little bit off there. It seems like you're wasting a lot. I mean, you can save it if you need to, if you want to save it. And don't cut your actor's ears, that would be good. You got one sticking out under there. Okay. Trim it on that side. Let's see how we're doing. How's it look so far? Okay. Look like a mountain man. Getting hot. Too much wool. Get too many layers on.
Yeah, I got too many layers on.
Too many layers. Sit down closer so you can see. Closer. Hey, there you go. I'm gonna get a closer shot. That's better. Okay. They're just gonna go crazy. Listen. Alright, turn this way. Thank you. Better to take a little bit off at a time than to take too much off and then go, oh God, now I totally screwed it up. But it's fun. Did you ever cut your Barbie doll's hair?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, come on, it's fun.
I think that's a rite of passage.
Yes, exactly. I think everybody's done that, I would think. G.I. Joe.
I
He
was
didn't have
bad.
hair.
I cut my American Girl.
Right?
Oh,
You cut your American Girl's doll's hair? Oh my God, your mother must have been
Oh my
mad
gosh,
at
I
you.
Yep.
That's
Not happy.
how much? $200? How much is that
I
good
don't know how
for?
much they are.
It was 100 when I was young.
$100
But it's gone
haircut.
up since
I'm sure
then.
they're more expensive.
That's
I had
funny.
Kit. She had a bob anyway. She didn't have much hair. She just
What'd
looked
you
more
give
like
her?
a boy. I just cut them
Mohawk,
all off.
you know,
Just like
the
I did with
usual.
all my Barbies. Gave
You're
them buzz
like,
cuts.
just cut it all off. That's great.
You like the Cynthia haircut?
Yes.
From like
Yes,
Rugrats?
exactly.
Have you ever made wigs?
I have not. That's a whole nother, you know.
We made fake hair that goes on.
Yeah, I've done the hair
Heads that are cut off.
and hair punching, which is fun, like punching it into a prosthetic. And then, you know, doing the whole art of, and again in your book about tying onto it's got a ventilated beard. It takes a lot of time, and not a lot of people do
There
it
we go.
anymore. So
Coming along nicely.
yeah. Let me see. So
Maybe
tilt
a little
down.
shorter on the sides.
Sides. Okay.
Yeah.
You want shorter?
Way
Alright.
shorter, yeah.
Okay. And the other thing, make sure you get up to the person's hairline, and you can do your spirit gum there, so it doesn't get in their actual hair. So, but you don't want it to stop because most beards grow all the way up to their, you know, right to here. Yeah, now I can see this. Okay. But like I said, you want to keep it. Just lay down a whole layer of latex, let it dry, and then go back, glue the beard on, and you can peel it right off. Put it on one of those styrofoam heads you get at Sally Beauty Supply, and just keep it, or put it into a plastic bag. Next time you need a fake beard.
So you mean make it off the face or put it on the face?
No, I would say you're just gonna make it right on your face.
And then you can take it off.
Yeah, it'll peel right off with the latex. But you need that extra layer, because the way he did it, it's just like little bits of latex. If you lay down, you know, a whole part of it. Okay, back to you. You may give you a haircut too, over here. Yeah, that way you can just peel it all off, and you will save it. I usually make it, put down the latex, and then we put in netting, you know, and then just glue the beard onto that. All right, so fluffing, it's looking pretty good. I'm gonna trim this mustache up a little bit. Now the thing about, look how you've cut it, is really blunt on the edges, so you want to go in, I like to, if it's going to be a beard that's not supposed to be trimmed up, you kind of twirl the ends of it, just to make it look more natural, as opposed to, oh, I just cut this beard and put it on. So, it definitely looks a lot better. And like I said, pulling some of the hair out is also good, because a lot of beards are not so fluffy, you know. Take some of the big content out of it. Looking pretty good. Okay, I'm going to cut right under here. Tilt your head back. Thank you. I'm going to cut on an angle, again, to take some of the, and as you're cutting right around the face, be very careful not to cut your actor. Always, if you're going to come under here, you know, always protect your model's face before, put your fingers under there so you don't cut them. It's always good to learn how to trim a beard too, because as a makeup artist, you know, I've had many times people say, "Oh, can you trim my beard for me?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah." I mean, this is a part of something you have to do. Learn how to do it, especially on a real person. They're not going to have such a big beard like this, I wouldn't think, but sometimes you have to do it. Always have your scissors with you, and it's always good to have like a hair trimmer. Okay, just look at me. Turn this way. Thank you. Let me get this. Okay. This beard's kind of scraggly. It's not perfect. Now the other thing I do is hairspray. So I'll spray this just to kind of set it.
You don't have that long a mustache, do you?
I don't know. I should trim it up.
Yeah, I don't think it comes to that kind of a point.
We went down like
It's too
that.
Santa Claus. Yeah. Cut it off.
Cut it off. Okay. Well, I think it's kind of long, but whatever. Pull some of that out of there.
You want me to hold a picture up for you?
Okay. It's pretty good. Like I said, he's got a lot more darker, like brown in there. Let me get. Oh yeah, Aquanet.
Fine.
That's what I like.
This is the hardest part, is like
You guys use Aquanet? Super hold.
when you start to go and trim, you're actually going backwards in the mirror, so it's really kind of hard to
It is
do.
hard.
That's why I asked Marianne to do it.
Let me trim that.
You get that? This is too long right there.
Too long right here. Okay, I'm gonna trim this too. How's that?
One of the first times we were teaching here,
What's
it
this
was
side?
right after 9/11, and I did a beard that looks like, you know, Osama bin Laden, and I was afraid to go to the mailbox that day out in front of my house. Thought that son of a bitch would get run over.
Yeah, well, there was a bounty.
Now,
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
like the front. I can see where the separation is. Like, so would you fluff it a little
Fluff
bit
it.
so that you just cover
Yeah,
it?
there you go.
It comes together with hairspray.
How's that? That's better. Yeah, I'm gonna just spray it. I mean, some of the pieces need to be glued down a little bit better, but hairspray does hold it together pretty well. And I expect you guys to spend more time on it. I mean, you know, how quickly. It might take you an hour to really get a good beard, you know, depending on what you're doing. And this needs more sticking, but I'm going to spray it down. You okay? Sorry!
Hey, I'm fine.
You're alright.
It's a good thing you're married.
We are?
We are? It's coming loose here. I gotta glue it down. Open your eyes.
Mm-mm.
No? I promise I'm not spraying you.
They're aqua netted together.
You guys must have been fun on your throwing the cake at each other.
What cake? Okay. It's bothering me. Got that down. Okay. Alright, so, any
Hardest
questions
part is
about.
to eat and drink this.
Oh my god,
with
yeah,
on.
that's true. Eating and drinking. Yeah.
That's when one of those bendy straws comes really in handy.
Yeah. And all this hair right here. That's annoying. Right on your lip like that. Trying to get rid of that.
How do you get this off?
How do you get it off?
We'll get there.
Yeah. Let me show you. Okay, so turn this way. This looks crooked here. Definitely.
How long does it generally take for latex to dry?
It's pretty fast. Like, I'd say 5 minutes. Like, if a little quantity of it. Yeah. So, I'm gonna spray you again. Take a deep breath. Okay. I'm gonna try and cover up everything that I can. Coming in, don't move. Okay. Alright, so you guys take your time with it. Like I said, full beard, mustache, and definitely think of what kind of character you can do with that. Okay. Now I'm going to spray the rest of this. Keep your eyes closed. Try and keep it all down. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, cool. Now I'm going to show you.
My,
Yes. Need a hat?
My sunglasses. I put them away.
Sunglasses are over here.
This is why I can't find anything.
Yes.
How do you make it look like that at the ends? Like on the picture?
Look at the ends
Yeah, how do you make it look like that on the ends?
down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm saying, take it and really I kind of twist it like that, just to get rid of that really blunt, straight cutting, and that kind of
Okay.
yeah. That's all I do. Now here's one of these cheap beards that we were talking about. It is on a lace, but it's. There you go.
There you go. Let us pray for Miss Mary Ann's cooking.
Miss Kate, Miss K, is that her name? Miss K.
Miss K's cooking.
Miss K.
Yeah.
All right, very good. The
Give me
next
a
thing I
duck
want
call.
to show you guys is